Hello and welcome to another BWhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at NASCAR Authentics Wave 1 for 2022. We have an entire raced version wave here. It ended up taking until Wave 2 of 2022 to get the next-gen cars. Now if you're wondering why I haven't uploaded this review until now, that is because it took until about a week and a half ago to complete this wave. The Lionel store for some reason skipped this wave, so I couldn't even anyone send me the cars that I was missing, and I was, it was hard to find. It's hard for me to find, full waves anymore half the time. Half the time I need somebody, a friend of mine to send me a couple they find, or, if they go to the Lionel store, I can, just have somebody send me a wave or whatever. But in this case, I had to have a couple of my friends just piece together a wave from Target. Said Kyle Larson's car was hard to find, Byron's car was hard to find. So that's why this wave took so long to get out. I will say, I don't think that you'll be waiting as long for Wave 2. But for now, we're on Wave 1. I decided to go back to the kind of, regular way I used to do these reviews because, honestly, the packaging just kind of got lame this year. Here's a look at the packaging for 2022. And you see, it's just a bunch of, all of them are, black around the top now. It took off all the color. This is a Skittles car. There's no Skittles or anything. It's just a little bit too generic for me. So I didn't feel like, taking a look at each individual package anymore. I mean, compare that to here's, Kyle Busch's Minis car from last year. You see you have, all this yellow up top, the M&Ms. It just was a much better packaging. So I've decided to, stop looking at each individual package. We'll still look at each individual, card or sticker or whatever they come with. But why don't we just hop right into this review and start with Ben Rhodes' Daytona win. These all come with little race win cards. So you see you got Ben Rhodes, Next Era Energy 250 Champion, Daytona Beach. And you have some of the stats and stuff on the back of the card. Here is the truck itself. Interesting choice for Authentics. I wouldn't have expected a Ben Rhodes truck to appear in here. It's always good to get random truck paint schemes. I don't like this truck at all as far as the paint scheme goes because, ThorSport for their anniversary had these beautiful metallic silver trucks, and then they kept the designs from those metallic silver trucks, but all their trucks now are this primer gray color. It's the least interesting color you could possibly use, and 90% of their trucks are this color now, and it's I just don't like that at all. But it's always cool to get trucks in Authentics. Is that this one doesn't seem to be selling too well, probably because it is, I don't think many people know who Ben Rhodes is, but pretty clean race version too. Anyways, next up, let's go to Kyle Busch's Atlanta truck win. Here we have the card right here, Kyle Busch Freight Auctions 200 winner, Hampton, Georgia, March 20th, 2021. And there you have the stats on the back of the card. Here is the truck itself. That typical KBM Cessna truck they've been using for years now. I've never been a huge fan of this truck. I think it's more just for the fact that Kyle has all those fun, M&Ms and Mars paid schemes, and they just have a generic truck they've been using for all these years. It's the KBM trucks, a lot of their designs are just somehow way too intricate and also plain at the same time, if that even makes sense. But it's a lot of these trucks just they always look like a mess, but at the same time, they're just kind of boring. I don't know. Especially this one, because it was he just had this sponsor for so many years. He finally did get some cool stuff this year. At Sonoma, when he won the truck race, he had a cool Yahoo purple truck. That was nice. I'm kind of glad that he wanted something different finally. Hopefully that truck ends up in Authentics too. It is kind of funny that we got two Kyle Busch cars in this wave. We have a truck and an Xfinity win, but none of his Cup wins. Once again, a very clean win. Does have Rowdy Energy on it again. So that is kind of interesting since most energy drink companies don't want to be, on these toy cars for, the children have. But Rowdy Energy doesn't seem to care about that yet, so that's nice. Next up, we have the other Kyle Busch car. We've got Kyle Busch's Skittles Gummy COTA Xfinity win. Here's the card, Kyle Busch Pit Boss 250 winner. Austin, Texas, May 22nd, 2021. And there you have the stats for the race on the back of the card. Here is the car itself. Basically the primary Skittles car he's had for years, just with the gummies all over it. He actually did race this paint scheme later in the year in Cup at Atlanta, and for some reason Lionel just didn't even pull it or anything. They just completely ignored it, but we did, of course, get this win. So this one got, produced in many forms. You of course, had the 124 version of this, and you, of course, had the version from the 5-pack set. I did pick up that, Kyle Busch 54 5-pack. I'm not sure if I might review it. I don't know. If anyone is interested in seeing a review on that, let me know. But Kyle Busch, of course, won all 5 of his Xfinity starts last year in 5 different Mars-sponsored cars. So that was really cool. Definitely a pretty nice paint scheme. Next up, we have Austin Cindric's PPG Indy Road Course win. You see Austin Cindric, Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard winner, Indianapolis, August 14th, 2021. There's the stats if you want to see that. And here's the car itself. The always beautiful PPG Penske paint scheme. It's a shame we don't get this anymore. I don't think it's on a single Cup car at all this year. And, there's no Xfinity team for Penske anymore. It is still running in an Indy car with Joseph Newgarden this year. But, man, this paint scheme always looks nice, and I wish it would run more. This is the first time we've gotten a race version of it. It's won about 3 or 4 races. Logano won its very first debut race in Xfinity back in, 2016. Then Cindric won, Mid-Ohio, I think it was, in this paint scheme, and now he won in Indianapolis. But this car did get produced as a 124 as well. So you can get a 124. I will probably be picking up the 124 of this, so you might see a review on that at some point. Definitely really cool to get this car in Authentics. And now we move over to the Cup wins from this line. We've got Ryan Blaney's Daytona August win. I almost said Daytona July. So used to saying that. But here we have Ryan Blaney, Coke Zero Sugar 400 champion, Daytona Beach, August 28th, 2021. Picture him with the bottle of body armor in victory lane. There you have the stats on the back of the card. And here's the car itself. A very nicely confetti-covered car. I'm definitely picking up the 124 of this, so you should see a 124 review of this at some point. But I just absolutely love the confetti on this car. And you see, an interesting thing on this car is that, you might notice that the confetti is brushed away from the bottles in the center there. That's not Lionel having to move them. That is Ryan Blaney himself in victory lane, cleaned off that spot and then took a selfie. So that's a really nice detail on the diecast. I love when you have little details that can tell stories like that. I said this, being the body armor car, you can get a clean primary version of it, then you can get the Atlanta win of it, so a cleaner raced version of it, and then you get the confetti win. So you have a nice variety of cars for this paint scheme last year. Interestingly enough, on the back bumper, it's supposed to have Winn-Dixie. Much like the Atlanta win, it got it taken away, but this one's even weirder because the render of the car, when they put up the render, it had Winn-Dixie on it still. So everyone's like, oh, cool, they actually got Winn-Dixie for it, but diecast comes out and it's gone again, so I don't know. This is definitely probably going to be a pretty popular release in Authentics. Pretty much everyone loves Ryan Blaney, and, everyone loves the body armor cars. Next up, we have Kyle Larson's Las Vegas win from last year. Kyle Larson, Pennzoil 400 winner, Las Vegas, Nevada, March 7th, 2021. Wearing the, throwback Goodyear hat for some reason in the photo. There's your stats on the back of the card. Here's the car itself. I have already reviewed the 124 of this one if you want a more detailed review. This was the first win for his season, for his championship winning season. Just the typical HendrickCars.com paint scheme, the Ricky Hendrick design. I did a few weeks ago at, was it Road America, when Kyle Larson was in the Xfinity race in that Hendrick 17 with the same paint scheme. They were just making a big deal about it being Ricky Hendrick's throwback paint scheme. It's yes, it is, but have we ignored the fact that he's been running that for, this is the second full year he's been running that in every race and Cup? Why are they trying to make a big deal out of this specific Xfinity version of it? But so this is, of course, one of the popular ones of the wave. The Kyle Larson cars are always very hard to find in Authentics, especially on store shelves. Except for the, 9/11 Memorial car from the shitty mold wave. That one I found, like, tons of the Kyle Larson cars, because that whole wave was easy to find, because nobody wanted those crappy mold cars. Next up, we've got Chase Elliott's COTA win from last year. Got Chase Elliott, Echo Park Automotive Texas Grand Prix winner, Austin, Texas, May 23rd, 2021. And there are the stats on the back of the card. That, as you probably noticed, we do have both the Xfinity and Cup wins for COTA last year in this wave. Here's Chase Elliott, the Lumar Window Films paint scheme. I think I've said in the past, like, this is definitely the best of the Lumar Window Films paint scheme so far, but it's still just, like I said, the blue number is still just so ugly to me. And it is to a lot of people. It's like, the car's not even that bad anymore. Like, you have, like, a nice, like, like, white fade into some, like, light orange, into some dark orange, into some red. A little bit of a design to it, too, if you look closely enough. But then, like I said, I just don't, the blue number is just so awful looking. Like, just use a white number. Like, why do you need a blue number so badly? This one is a little crumpled in. This, of course, was the rain win. So it has the white lettering tires instead of the, yellow ones. The 124 would have a, windshield wiper too on the front. I'm glad they picked this one for Chase Elliott last year, not just like Road America, which was just like a clean version of the Napa paint scheme. This is definitely his, better win from last year. Next up, we've got William Byron's Homestead win from last year. See, William Byron, Homestead 400 winner. Did that race really not have a sponsor, or did they, like, remove the sponsor from this card? I'll have to look back at that. I don't remember, but Homestead, Florida, February 28th, 2021. What is he holding there? What is that down there? It's a very odd-looking photo, too. But anyways, there are the stats on the back of the card. And here is the car itself. William Byron's new Exalta paint scheme for last year. They finally gave him his own identity beyond just being a blue version of Jeff Gordon's Exalta car. And then this year, for some reason, they've just kind of ignored this car. It's ran like a few times this year, but it's been replaced mostly by that Raptor car, which is a company owned by Exalta, but like that Raptor car is not good looking at all. This Exalta car is way better looking. It's such a bright neon color. Like, I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but all the colors are very bright neon, like almost day glow colors. Definitely glad he was able to get a win in this paint scheme. Some people think the reason that Exalta is not really doing it this year is because for the next-gen car, you can't actually paint them. Like, they have to be wrapped. So maybe, a paint company was like, why would we waste time sponsoring paint in there? But said he's run it a few times this year. I believe when he just ran it at Atlanta, I think that was the final time he's going to run the Exalta paint scheme. I think the rest of the year is always just that Raptor car, which, again, does not look very good. The Raptor car got better at, Dover when he wrecked the car, and he got the backup version of the car, and for some reason, Hendrick's backup cars are just, like, they don't want to wrap the whole thing, so, like, the very, like, front all the way to the top is just, like, solid white on every car, no matter what the paint scheme was. It ruined Chase Elliott's throwback as well, but that honestly, the white on that made it look better than the regular Raptor car. Anyways, last but not least, we've got AJ Allmendinger's, also Indianapolis Road Course win. So you have AJ Allmendinger, Verizon 200 at the Brickyard winner. Indianapolis, August 15th, 2021. There are the stats. Here is the car itself. This was definitely a very thrilling race. Also a kind of awful race because, it of course ended with the, very bad look for NASCAR with that one little, curb they added. They felt the need to, add a couple curbs. There was the curb that was launching cars all weekend. It's like, at that point, just if they cut the track, just make them stop. Like, having a giant curb that launched them into the track and causes big wrecks is stupid as hell. But then the curb right in front of that was just on the turn, that one came up later in the race and caused a big one. Took out, like, Logano, William Byron, and, like, a bunch of cars. And that just looked really bad for NASCAR when the track comes up and takes out a bunch of the top competitors. Like, that was ugly. And then, of course, the race ended with a battle between Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin, where Chase Briscoe sent Denny Hamlin into the grass, and Chase Briscoe had a penalty, like, right before that, so they both lost, and then Allmendinger in third got the win. Seeing Allmendinger win in a Colleague Cup car was just amazing. Like, I'm glad that was definitely a very cool moment to see Allmendinger win. I'm glad we got something out of that race, Because that race was so bad that, like, if it just ended with, like, Denny Hamlin winning, that would have been just, like, it would have just been the end. The fact that they gave it, we at least got something out of the win that was like, okay, well, I can like it now, is, you know, pretty interesting. Definitely really cool to get, you know, the colored Cup car as a diecast, because they really don't offer many colored cars in general, especially not the Cup cars. He has a really cool, it was like, what, Goldfish Casino paint scheme this year in Cup that I would have wanted a diecast of, but they didn't offer it. And he had a cool Andy's ice cream car, too. So that is it for the wave. Like I said, definitely not bad choices, but definitely some choices that are, you know, a little bit weird. Because, like, if this is supposed to be, like, you know, like, highlights of wins last year, where is Bubba Wallace's Talladega win? That seems like an obvious one you kind of need. And, like, if you're going to have Kyle wins, like, why would you choose his truck win over, like, his M&M's mini win or his Kansas win? And if this is supposed to be, like, highlights, where is Logano's Bristol Dirt win? I know that wasn't the most exciting race win, but a lot of these aren't. But, like, I feel like the, you know, historic first Cup race back on dirt deserves an Authentics release, but maybe that's just me. But like I said, the next wave does have next gens, as you already saw. But I'm very curious if we get any Gen 6s still, or it just goes fully to next gen. Because like I said, I will be shocked if we don't get Bubba Wallace's Talladega first win in Authentics. Or are we not going to get, like, Kyle Larson's championship Phoenix race win in Authentics? Or is, you know, any of the roof logo cars or anything? Like, just seems odd that they would just skip all of those. If you want this wave, it is in stores right now. Probably most of the stores are, you know, about to get wave 2, so it might be hard to find this wave if you haven't already. But not a bad wave. It's always good to get some of these, you know, solid, you know, theme waves like this, where you had, like, last year you had the race win wave, you had the All-Star wave. Basically, wave 2 is a NASCAR, you know, next-gen test car wave. Which is also a very weird, like, next-gen test car bonus wave coming out to some stores, too. They just announced that's, like, most of wave 2, but then minus a few of the cars that aren't test cars in wave 2, and then they added, like, different test cars for the bonus wave, and then it has the reveal next-gen cars for Chevy, Ford, and Toyota, and it's just weird, but I might do a review on that. I'm not sure, because I'm going to review wave 2, obviously, so I don't know if I will just review, like, the 5 new cars from the bonus wave if I find them, but I don't know. But anyways, I think that's pretty much all there is to say. This has been a review on the NASCAR Authentics Wave 1 for 2022. Remember, for all of your diecast needs, you can go to circlebdiecast.com, and if you use the code BWhack, you can get $5 off shipping for any order over $30. But that's pretty much all to say. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.